What's up, guys? So today is Christmas Eve, or Christmas, or weeks after Christmas, or years after Christmas, whenever you're watching this video. But right now, it's December 24th, Christmas Eve, also known as Friday before Book of Boba Fett, because that's what we want to talk about. So, I'm so hyped for the show. QI'RA, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Cad Bane, even Princess Leia, even Grogu. All of it could happen in Book of Boba Fett, and we are just days away from it. So let's get right into it. Merry Christmas Eve. Whenever you're watching this, let's get right into all of it right now. So let's start with QI'RA. If you guys are unfamiliar with QI'RA, then you haven't watched Solo, A Star Wars Story, because she is Han's girlfriend. He chases her around the whole galaxy to try and find her, and when he does, she works for the Crimson Dawn, and then she becomes one of the heads of the Crimson Dawn and goes to work for Maul. Darth Maul, yes, that is Darth Maul. And she gets trained by him. And we have seen QI'RA very recently in Star Wars comics. So if you don't want to be spoiled of the War of the Bounty Hunters line of comics that came out over the summer, fast forward. So QI'RA shows up. It's pretty simple. QI'RA shows up. This takes place in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's War of the Bounty Hunters because Boba Fett's trying to take Carbonite Han to Jabba the Hutt, but he can't. He gets interrupted throughout the way, and you see the Crimson Dawn are back. They bring all the crime syndicates together in this one huge meeting because they want to announce that the Crimson Dawn is back, and QI'RA is the leader, and she is trained by Darth Maul. She is not a Sith, she's not a Force user, she's just trained by the Sith Lord, Darth Maul. It does not get cooler than that. If she shows up in Boba Fett, this is going to be wild. Here's how I think it's going to go. So we have heard from Robert Rodriguez himself, who is directing all of the episodes of Book of Boba Fett, that the trailers we've seen are only clips from the first 15 minutes of the very first episode of the Book of Boba Fett. This means we don't know anything about the show. If you think about the dialogue in these trailers, all he's saying is, I want to rule with respect. That's all he keeps saying. Nothing. No plot at all. We don't know anything. But here's what I think is going to happen. Boba took the throne of Tatooine. He's trying to get all these crime people to come together because it'll be better for all of them. Money-wise, power-wise, all of it. But the Crimson Dawn might not like this. They've been hiding back in the shadows. But QI'RA might be like, no, we can't let this happen. Boba Fett can't take charge, so I'm going to send a bunch of bounty hunters after him. And I think the first episode's going to end with like a pan up to the Crimson Dawn's ship, and then pan into QI'RA's face, and it's going to be like, oh my god, like Grogu in episode 1 of The Mandalorian. Like that good. But it doesn't stop there. QI'RA could bring in a lot more characters than just herself and the Crimson Dawn, and some bounty hunters chasing after Boba Fett. Rumor has it that she could be hiring Cad Bane to go after Boba Fett, which would lead to an awesome showdown between Cad Bane and Boba Fett that would just be insane. But she would also bring in Han Solo, because in the Solo movie, his whole goal is to find her. That's his whole goal throughout the Solo movie, is to find her, and then when he eventually does, she's not the same girl that he knew. But where there's QI'RA, I feel like Han Solo won't be far behind. But that kind of complicates things because she's his ex-girlfriend, and then there's still Leia, and they have a kid now. So where there's QI'RA, I think there's Han Solo, and where there's Han Solo, there's Princess Leia, and where there's Princess Leia, there's Chewbacca, and maybe even C-3PO, maybe even R2-D2, and of course, Luke Skywalker we already saw at the end of Mando Season 2. And of course, we know that he took Grogu, and he's going to train him at the temple, but that means we could see young Ben Solo, Grogu, and Luke Skywalker all together in the Book of Boba Fett in Jabba's palace once again. And this show can't come soon enough. When is Wednesday? If you guys are watching this after Wednesday, if it does not live up to this hype, I'm going to be severely depressed. Just kidding, I won't be. But QI'RA should be in this first episode. If not QI'RA, Han Solo. If not Han Solo, Luke Skywalker and Grogu. If not either of them, maybe even Mando and Bo-Katan, which I would be satisfied with. I would. But QI'RA would be the go-to. I think, since we've only seen the first 15 minutes of the first episode, which is insane. Insanity. All these trailers we've gotten, millions of TV spots, like 20 trailers. All of them are from the first 15 minutes of the first episode. which means something crazy is going down at the end of that first episode and throughout the whole season, because Robert Rodriguez keeps saying that this is going to be way better than Mando Season 2, and I watched Mando Season 2. There is nothing that's better than that. You had Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, you had Luke Skywalker, and Grogu, of course. And, I mean, how can you top that? Well, I'll tell you how. Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and Luke Skywalker, all four of them on the screen at the same time. Think about it. We didn't get that once throughout the whole sequel trilogy. We didn't get the original four on the screen at the same time once. We had Luke with Leia, even though that was just a hologram. We had Han with Leia and Chewie. Luke was not there. And Luke never saw Han before he died. Never. So if we get the four of them on the screen together, this will be the greatest show of all time. I keep saying that Mando Season 2 is the greatest season of any show ever. I've watched so many shows. I love the Marvel shows. I love the Star Wars shows, of course. I love a lot of shows. I've seen them all the good ones. Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, whatever you want. Whatever is good, I have seen. And nothing comes close. Not even close to Mando Season 2. So if Robert Rodriguez is correct and Book of Boba Fett is going to top that, I can't wait. QI'RA, Crimson Dawn, trained by Darth Maul, brings in Han Solo, Cad Bane, one of my favorite bounty hunters ever, Mando, Grogu, Luke Skywalker, Leia, Chewie, C-3PO, and even R2-D2. It's like I just named all the best characters in Star Wars that are alive at the time. I just named all of them, and there is a high probability that we will see all of them on the screen come next Wednesday, if not the Wednesdays following that for the next 7 Wednesdays. I think 7 episodes, a weird number, usually 8, usually 9, usually 10. 7 is weird, but I think that just could be because this is so good that it only needs 7 episodes. People won't be disappointed that there isn't an 8th episode because it'll just be that good. QI'RA, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Grogu, Leia, Chewie, C-3PO, Mando. Mando says a line in the trailer. I don't know if you missed that. Go watch the very first trailer for the Book of Boba Fett. Mando says the first line, I think. Maybe the first or second line. It's Mando's voice. It's been confirmed that it's Mando's voice, meaning that Mando is definitely going to be in it. QI'RA, most likely Cad Bane. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you hearing these characters that I am naming to you right now? They could all be on the screen together, fighting each other, or maybe even just talking to each other. If they just stand there in silence, I will be so happy. I said, with this QI'RA, this Han Solo, and with this Han Solo in a Book of Boba Fett show, I mean, Han Solo technically kills Boba Fett. He sends him into the Sarlacc pit, and I'm sure Boba Fett has not forgot about that. And he put him in carbonite. I mean, obviously, it was just a job from Jabba, but he put him in carbonite, and he had a lot of trouble with him that we saw over this last summer with the War of the Bounty Hunters. Not to mention the fact that he put Han into carbonite, so Han's going to be pretty pissed himself. So, it's going to be insanity. Insanity. I just can't wait. Smash that like button if you like this video. Hit subscribe and hit that bell because I'll be having videos all throughout the week for you because Book of Boba Fett starts this week in less than a few days. We will have the first episode of Book of Boba Fett, and QI'RA or Han Solo is going to be that ending like Grogu in the end of Mando Episode 1, Season 1, where it's like, holy crap, this show is going to be insane. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell because you'll get notifications for all the videos that I got coming out, covering Book of Boba Fett, covering all the stuff Star Wars coming in 2022 because there is a lot of it. So don't miss out on any of it. And may the Force be with you always.